Dave the Confused. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's get into some real creepy stuff. So sticking to the urban legend theme, one of the biggest urban legends that's always kind of grasps my attention were mirrors. Now you're like, how can mirrors be an urban legend? They exist. I'm not saying mirrors don't exist, but I'm saying there's things about mirrors that are super creepy. And there's so many different beliefs about what a mirror is and what it represents and what it can do. So we're going to talk about some of the urban legends that surround mirrors, and maybe that would be the reason why you sleep with a blanket over yours tonight. And just really quick, don't forget we have merch, Dave the Confused and Confused Army merch, link in the description below. You should probably go check those out. So the first thing I want to talk about mirrors is that there's the belief that they're a parallel dimension to our own, right? And I know that sounds so crazy, but actually Stephen Hawking, the renowned scientist and physicist, was actually working on some sort of project that wanted to prove that parallel universes existed regarding mirrors. Now, there are urban legends about these parallel universes and how things can escape from them, or you could possibly be pulled into one. And that's why there's the legend of the two mirrors, as in you take two large mirrors and stand them facing each other, and you stand in the middle of them. And there's a theory that there is some sort of parallel dimension happening, and you can count the different dimensions there are within the mirrors, and the possibility that your other self can see you through this dual mirror setup. Here's the thing about parallel universes. It doesn't necessarily mean that the you on the other side is just like you. Usually there's something different. As in, you could be the good version of yourself, and there could be a bad version of you on the other side of this mirror. An exact opposite of who you are in your core self. And that brings us to the broken glass theory, urban legend with mirrors. Now, everyone knows mirrors are essentially made of glass, right? There's a reflective material behind glass that you see yourself in. But breaking a mirror can have dire consequences. For example, there's the belief that if you break a mirror, you have 7 years of bad luck. Added on to that theory, if the mirror shatters in just tiny, tiny pieces, your luck may not be as bad. If it shatters in larger pieces, your luck could be catastrophically bad. Biblical bad. So, something to think of if you have broken mirrors. The other urban legend is don't look into a broken mirror. The belief is if you look into the broken mirror, the shards of it are pieces of your soul. Each shard represents a little piece of the soul of the looker into the broken mirror. And sometimes if a shard could be missing, that could be essentially a piece of your soul that's missing. So you could essentially lose parts of your soul by looking into a broken mirror. And that's why they say if you do look into a broken mirror, cover it with something. Cover the mirror with a towel or a blanket or something, and that will stop you from losing your soul. There's also a belief where if you take the pieces of a broken mirror and bury it in a graveyard, you'll get that aspect of your soul back. Because you're asking the dead, whose souls have already crossed over, to send your part back. You're not ready for what's after this life. And so that section of your soul needs to go back. Now let's talk about the people that could exist in your mirror. Now I know there's always your reflection in your mirror, right? But remember those urban legends about, Baby Blue, Bloody Mary, the Candyman? These are all urban legends of spirits, demons, entities, gods, whatever, ghosts, that could essentially live in the realm of mirrors. And there's ways to bring them forth, whether that's a good idea or not, and it's not. There's ways to do it. For example, turning off all the lights in your bathroom and saying Bloody Mary 3 times in your mirror. They say it works even better on the 13th Friday of every month. And little to known fact, Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th movie is second cousin to Bloody Mary. That's not true. That's a made up fact. But I think I had you for a second. Maybe a second. I don't suggest calling these things into a mirror because it's just not worth the risk, Just go do something else, Like, don't go into a mirror and shout out Candyman 3 times. Because if the small chance is that he does appear with his hook hand, you're going to regret doing that, right? Like, at the end of that experience, you're going to regret calling the Candyman forth, So the Baby Blue urban legend, where you say Baby Blue in your bathroom and you I think you like pretend to hold a baby, and when you turn your lights back on, you're holding a blue baby. And if you don't release the baby immediately, their mother will appear and scream at you. Like, these are really messed up. You know what I mean? Like, don't do this. Don't do this. Just use your mirror to brush your teeth and put on makeup. Or like, look at your tonsils or something. Don't use it for this. It's too creepy, And, there's the whole thing about mirrors and vampires. You can't see a vampire in a mirror because it's undead. Essentially, the theory behind it is in the mirror there's a parallel universe, and you see yourself in the parallel universe. But if you die in every universe. Once you're dead, all of the other universes die as well. And a vampire being undead and his physical form is essentially not alive, they don't see that parallel universe version of themselves. They don't see anything. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know how legitimate it is, but that's what they say. There have been haunted mirrors that do exist and are in museums and all these, super creepy places. And actually the movie Oculus was based off of a real life haunted mirror. And don't get me wrong, I don't think the video script is real, but the idea of a haunted mirror that people have seen really crazy things in, that is real, that exists, right? Those mirrors exist. There was also that urban legend story of this lady kept seeing in these mirrors a dead girl. She kept seeing a woman standing behind her every time she looked in any mirror. And she was dirty and bloody and everything. And she just did not understand why she kept seeing this girl. And one night, a man broke into her house and was trying to murder her. And the man had her in a headlock or something. And he walked by a mirror. And when he looked in the mirror, he saw the dead girl as well. And immediately stopped what he was doing, let that lady go, and ran out the house. And what it was the dead girl was actually there trying to protect the woman. She knew this was going to happen, and so she was trying to protect this lady, and she was doing that by making her presence known in a mirror. So basically, mirrors are some of the creepiest things in the world. that exists right now. There's like creepy dolls, there's haunted houses, there's graveyards, and there's mirrors. And there's like your grandmother's pantry where you don't know what's expired and what's not, you know. It's like, what do I eat from here? But mirrors are just a plethora of urban legends and theories and just unanswered questions. So if you dare talk to a mirror, be forewarned. I warned you in this video. Be very careful around mirrors. Well, I'm Dave, still confused. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget we have merchandise up for sale. Leggings, t-shirt, masks, sweaters, everything. Go check it out. You will not be disappointed. Thank you for stopping by. At least our dogs aren't werewolves. Peace.